Hello, Samson here. So, in today's book review, I was reading Before You Quit Your Job, that is by Robert Kiyosaki, a very insightful book for people who are aspiring to become entrepreneurs. Uh, the book is interesting in nature and very insightful because it's got a lot of lessons. So, in the introduction, Before You Quit Your Job, Robert Kiyosaki is bringing out the the basis practically of what the book is going to talk about, of which it is centered around, I think, two principles. That is the differences which are there between who an employee is and who an entrepreneur is. So we're going to meet, I think, all of them maybe in the first section of the book. We're going to be able to understand what the differences are and what these two classes of people are looking for in their lives. But in his definition from who an entrepreneur is, or entrepreneurship rather, is the pursuit of opportunity regardless to resources which are currently under control. And that is how the definition of entrepreneurship is brought out. So the pursuit of opportunity regardless of resources which are under control, the ability to be able to maximize from whatever is there. So diving right into the lessons and the chapters. So in lesson number 1, Robert Kiyosaki is bringing to life the fact that a successful business is firstly built before there is even a business. So in chapter 1, he's talking about what the difference is between who an entrepreneur is and who an employee is. An entrepreneur is someone who's going to seek freedom. So, and then an employee is someone who's seeking security. But there is an interesting thing which Robert Kiyosaki brings forth when he talks about that. So he's saying if you want security, then you need to be jailed for the rest of your life, because you only find maximum security in jail. So there are different types of entrepreneurs. We've got self-employed entrepreneurs, we've got professional entrepreneurs, we've got people in the legal space, we've got people who are doing franchises, and all those different people who are into different types of what is known as entrepreneurships, because they are practically seeking pursuing opportunities where resources regardless of the resources which are under control. Lesson number 2 of the book is bringing to life the fact on how to turn bad luck into good luck. And then in chapter 2, moving from dumb to dumber, moving from dumb and dumber rather, and then to becoming rich and richer. So here we are looking at the fact that for you to be able to become someone who's successful as an entrepreneur, there is this hindrance that is here. Entrepreneurs do not succeed because they're afraid to fail, and then they do not fail enough. That is where the whole lessons are centered at. But then there are certain principles which are important, I think, to note in lesson number 2, where you're looking at, if you want to start, then just start your business, have the ability to fail, find a mentor to mentor you and help you to run your business, and then fail again. Then the next thing you do is take some classes where you need to. If you need, just take on some classes and then be able to fail again, and then keep failing and learning, and then stop when it becomes successful, celebrate, and then go back to the whole process again. Which takes us to lesson number 3, which is bringing to the fact that you need to know the difference between what your job is and what your work is. So in chapter 3, we are talking about why it is important for you to be able to work for free, which is going to help you have the ability to gain the experience that you're going to need in the entrepreneurial space. So there is an aspect of the BI triangle which he brings in, where you're looking at the product which is on top of the triangle, then bringing it down, you've got the legal, and then the third one, which is the middle most important part of the business, are the systems that you're going to employ in running your business. And then the fourth one is communications. Then on the base, you've got cash flow, and then around the triangle you're going to find the team, the leadership, and on the base you're going to find the mission. So in chapter 4, success is something that is going to review your failures. Lesson number 4 rather. And then in chapter 4, you're talking about the difference between street smart and school smart. So here we're employing the 4 different types of schools that you're going to have to go through as an entrepreneur. The first one is the traditional one, the traditional school system that is there. Then the second one is the family one, where you just learn from home. And third one is the corporate. And then the last one is the street business school, which most entrepreneurs just need to stick in there and stay. And then lesson number 5 is bringing to life the fact that the process is what is more important than the goals that you have set. In chapter 5, we are discussing money is the one that talks practically. So according to the process that he had to go through, Kiyosaki brings to life the fact that the first phase that he had was the learning phase. The second phase was the earning phase, and then the third phase of his life was the giving back phase, where he's at right now. Here it is important to note that there are a lot of different ways in which you can become a millionaire. So some of which you can inherit the money. You can marry for money in order to become a millionaire, and then you can be a crook for money. You can be cheap for money. You can be lucky and get money. But the most recommended one is to be smart as an entrepreneur in order for you to have a lot of money that you need. Lesson number 6 is bringing forth the fact that the best answers are found in your heart, not in your head. And then in chapter 6, we're discussing the 3 kinds of money. So there are different types of portfolios. So there is an end portfolio of money, and then there is a passive portfolio that you're going to have, and then there is an income perspective, an income portfolio that is there. But the 3 kinds of money are competitive money, there is corporate money, and then there is spiritual money, which he recommends so much that we're supposed to strive for the spiritual part of money. And then lesson number 7 is the scope of a mission is what is going to determine what the product of the business is going to be for. And then chapter 7 is bringing to life how to go from a small business to a big business. So when you look at the BI triangle, at the base of it is where the mission lies, and then at the topmost is where the product is. So in order for you to have a balanced product which is going to be able to sell out, the scope of the mission is what is going to determine what the product, how successful the product is going to be. And then in lesson number 8, we are finding the fact that you need to design a business that is going to do what no other business is going to be able to do. Here in chapter 8, you're looking at what is it that is the function or the role of a business leader. And we're talking about him having the clarity of what the mission is, and then finding the best people to work with, then strengthening the company from the inside, then expanding it from the outside, and then being able to expand and then invest in assets which are tangible. So in order to expand the business, there are certain aspects which we can look at, because we've talked about different types of entrepreneurships and different types of entrepreneurs which you have. So here we are talking about you maybe having the ability to replicate a product that has been there already, just replicate and then advance it, develop it. And then you can also franchise in order to take the business further. And then you can register a company, you can start your own, and then you can license, and all different other ways on which you can find in order to maximize how best you can move on. So in the BI triangle, the mission is what is going to determine what the business is all about, and the leadership is going to focus on the fact that the mission is supposed to be achieved, and then the team is what is going to be the driving force for the business to keep moving. In lesson number 9, we're talking about not fighting for the bargain investment. This is chapter 9 telling us how to find good customers, and the principle there is practically firing customers who are not good, because you're good and bad customers. So in order to keep the good customers, you need to fire the bad ones. But then a marketer is someone who's supposed to understand that there are like 5 P's which you're going to need for your marketing. So you need to understand what your product is. You need to understand the people to whom you're going to sell the product. You need to understand the pricing of your product. You need to understand the place of your product. And then you need also to understand what the position of the product is going to be like, which takes us to the last lesson, where you need to know when to quit your job, literally. So in chapter 10 is a summary. So although everyone's got the ability to become an entrepreneur, not everyone. Entrepreneurship rather is not for everyone. That's an opinion that Kiyosaki brings about in the last lesson. So in order for you to look at the fact that, okay, I'm about to quit my job, and before you quit, look at what you need. Do you need security or do you need freedom? Then just look at your attitude, and then be willing to be able to take in the process, and just see to it that you have the right attitude towards what you're pursuing. So this was Before You Quit Your Job by Robert Kiyosaki. And till we meet in the next segment, check it out.